What's going what's going on, family? All right, what's going on, family? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to articulate this, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to articulate it the best way I can. And this is an experience that I had that I haven't shared. It was a continuation of the part two from one of my old videos in my playlist, my first V2K experience that I experienced. And what I was talking about that, it was just more of synthetic, angelic recruitment, or me just seeing that the program had some type of synthetic telepathy where people were talking, you know what I mean, their mouths weren't moving, or some type of audio was being played out in my head from certain people looking my direction. Yeah, so this is all in Florida, right? So, you know, I was in Florida for like, I want to say, in the beginning of my targeting. My targeting started in Georgia. My targeting started in Stone Mountain, Georgia. My targeting started on North Harrison Road in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Literally, yeah, like soon as I walked on North Harrison, um, I want to say from Lawrenceville Highway to North Harrison and Stone Mountain, that's when everything just flipped for me. But okay, I finally got fed up with Atlanta, so I left on the Greyhound that's by Magic City downtown. Left on the Greyhound and went on to Florida. Went on to Florida, homeless, didn't know nobody from a can of paint. There was a gas station, and I guess the street is called John Young or something, Young something. And that's the street in Orlando. And the gas station met this white dude. You know what I'm saying? He seemed pretty cool. It was another white dude, you know what I mean? They seemed pretty cool. You know, just being homeless, they were pretty cool. I was like, okay, it's turn around there. You know what I'm saying? They were just cool. It was no bad energy, no bad vibe. You know what I'm saying? But I could tell it was the games. I could tell it was the program and stuff like that. But just fast forward. I left Florida and I went to New Mexico, which is where I'm at now. I still had no idea what Game Stalker was or none of that. I just thought this was all on. I thought the whole world was against me, like on some Tupac stuff. I didn't know what I done did. I don't know what happened. You know, I finally got on the internet and just thought to do some research. And I started my research when I was in New Mexico. Started trying to connect with TIs. Uh, was able to talk to a couple TIs on the phone, and I got really interested what this game stalking is. I got really interested that I was not the only one, you know what I mean, going through this. So things didn't work out for me in New Mexico. I was by myself. I wasn't able to have my way with certain women and stuff like that. You know, I had a yearning for, you know, intimacy that I didn't get. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bump the love, bump the intimacy, whatever. I'm just gonna try to see if I can rock it out with some TIs and we can start us a community. So my whole mindset was like, yeah, I'm gonna start a community. I mean, not me start. I want to be a part of a TI community. You know what I'm saying? So I want to connect with TIs. I don't even care if I'm homeless. Bump it. You know what I mean? So I left and I went to New Orleans. You know what I mean? I tried to tell a specific TI, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a coincidence. I'm heading to New Orleans. But that TI wasn't really didn't know me like that. So they was getting perp vibes. So I wasn't really understanding the perp vibe. I didn't really understand like perp. You think I'm a perp. You know what I mean? I didn't really understand it. But now I do. Uh, but Yeah, I was homeless for a while. I worked in New Orleans. You know what I mean? Went through the harassment in New Orleans. Um, Finally, me and the Ti connected through another Ti that was like, "Oh, get a kid a break." You know what I mean? He looks like he really going through it. Get his kid a break. So the Ti gave me a break, and everything kind of went smooth. But fast forward that situation, I'm like, you doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be too much of a burden. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and head to Florida. So another Ti took me on to Florida. You know what I'm saying? But they had their own situation going on, so I couldn't really link up with them, which I respected. I'm a grown man, cool. But luckily that from periodically I was able to link up with Ti. Ti was cool. Took me out to like certain restaurants to eat, so that was cool. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, he went on about his business. Ti went on about the business. So I'm back in Florida, back in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So back in this thing, back in Orlando. So now it's like they already had a taste of me the first time. So now, he coming back. So I didn't know Orlando, you know what I mean, was really Hellando. You know what I'm saying? So this time me coming back, going through my homeless phase, um, I was able to find like temp agency jobs and stuff like that. And from New Orleans, I bought a tent. And I carried that tent with me everywhere I went. So when I was in Orlando this time, I was just, find a place and set up a tent. I didn't know where to set up a tent at. So I got stopped by the police a couple times. Or certain people was like, "Oh, you can't set your tent up here." And, I almost got locked up for setting my tent up in public places because I didn't know the whole rundown about tents and things. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm just all around Orlando. There's a smaller city south of Orlando. It's called Kissimmee. When you look at it, the pronunciation of it looks like Kissimmee or something like that, but it's Kissimmee. You know what I mean? And when I went to Kissimmee, it seemed cool, but I noticed a lot of the streetwalkers, they look dark. These people look dark. They look dark. I don't know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? They look like a mixture of druggies, thugs, and Satanists all mixed together. Druggies, Satan, thugs all mixed together. Like, I don't know. Like, it was just a dark aura down there. When I first went down, it was cool. Like, went to the park, I would drink, and I would just stare at the pond, and I get a relax just seeing the sun beam off the water. I'm just relaxed, just water gazing. I do my water gazing and relax. That was a way that I relief from anxiety and all type of stuff that I was going through. You know what I'm saying? So I go to the gas station. You know what I mean? Some dude see me with a tent, and he just dropped it on me like, "Hey, um, you heard of Tent City?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't never heard of Tent City. That's a place where you can pitch a tent. It'd be a lot of other people pitch a tent, homeless and stuff like that." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. All right, Tent City." You know what I'm saying? But I was like, where is it? He was like, "It's by Wawa's." So they got gas stations down there in Florida called Wawa or WAWA Wawa. So he was like, "It's right across from the Wawa. You'll see it's a little opening. You got to walk in the woods for a little bit, but you'll see it." It's like, "Yeah, man, the people cool." So I didn't really care. It's just me. So it's like, okay, I ain't all right. Let me try it out. So, because I'm trying to find places to go, because it's like being harassed by the police and stuff like that, and certain area. It was one place that I could pitch my tent in Orlando, and I was by this shelter not too far from the soccer stadium down there in Orlando, not too far from the Orlando Magic's arena, the basketball. It was not too far from the soccer stadium or the Orlando Magic arena. I'm down there by the shelter and stuff, so I pitched my tent there. But when sometimes I go to Kissimmee, and this is where I'm going, Tent City. So this place called Tent City is where tents be all out in the woods and stuff like that. So I pitched my tent, brave soul. I pitched my tent. I don't know nobody. I ain't talking to nobody. I see people's tents. So I find me a place, out in the woods and stuff like that. I'm like, man, hopefully I don't get no encounter with no alligators and, no Jurassic Park type activity. That's what I would think. I wasn't thinking on nothing too crazy. So I pitched my tent and it was cool. You know what I mean? It was windy. I mean, I might have somebody walk with their flashlight and stuff like that. Or somebody kind of walk with their dog a little bit distance, but I slept. I slept peacefully, But then the morning time it started drizzling and stuff, and I didn't fully understand how to set up my tent. You know what I'm saying? So I got a little, wet because it rains like crazy down there in Florida. So I'm like, okay, this is another little spot where I can kick it at. Okay, cool. This is another little spot I could just, just parlay, just chill. So periodically, like after I worked for my temp agency, they had me at this what was it? University of Central Florida. University of Central Florida. So I was at the University of Central Florida cleaning the dorms. You know what I mean? Their rooms and stuff like that, like janitorial work. They went out on spring break, I think. I think they went out on spring break or something like that. They went out on vacation. And so we was in UCF, University of Central Florida, just cleaning up the dormitories and stuff. So when I get off, I need to find a place just to sleep because sometimes the shelter it get a little too thuggish. It get a little like other people set up. They tend to be a lot of activity and stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I be just trying to find a peace of mind. You know what I mean? Where it's not too grimy. So I go to Kissimmee and go to the woods. You know what I'm saying? So when I went back to my similar spot, I seen it was some people already just situated. You know what I mean? It was a dude, uh, you know what I'm saying, another dude, uh, and there was this female. So it was three of them. First, it was just the two dudes before the female just magically popped up out of nowhere. Just two dudes, and they tent wasn't set up at all, but they were just sitting on chairs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I guess I was just feeling cool, like to talk with them, like, hey, what's going? Cause they right near me. I'm about to set up my tent. They like, yo, what's up? Blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? And they, they was like, hey, you smoke? You know what I mean? They had a particular drug. You know what I'm saying? It was meth. You know what I mean? Um, so it was like, you know what? F it. You know what I mean? All right, boom. So hit the meth and everything like boom. I'm just chopping it up with them. You know what I mean? Everybody, moving about, boom, boom, boom on the crystal meth. So you know what I'm saying? Hey, my tent's, pretty big and y'all like that tent's small and y'all ain't got the tent set up. Like I really did have a really big tent where like about 5, 6 people is like spacious. Like if I'm on one side, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey man, it's about to rain, you know what I mean? We can, smoke some more, y'all, you know what I mean? Chill. Since y'all looking out for me, woo, woo, woo. That's cool. I'm gonna look out for y'all. All right. I'm that type of person. You know what I'm saying? So boom. They in the tent, you know what I mean? We got the tent thing open. We smoking, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I guess because of my ADHD, I don't know. I'm not like hyperactive. I'm not like moving. Like I'm not like how they just moving fast paced, going in and out, going. I'm chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm just enjoying my high. You know what I'm saying? So boom. So the more I talk to her, I see dude kiss the other dude. So like, oh, these dudes, they gay. You know what I'm saying? So like, oh, okay, y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all gay. But they ain't bring the energy towards me, but it's like, okay, boom. Uh yeah, so that was awkward. And then okay, so the female pop up. So one of the dudes act like he wanted to get with the female. Like they was all close, I guess. Like Nas said they was like on some Naruto Team 7, they worked in unison. But they played it all out to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, they was together, like from New York or something, and they down here in Florida. You know what I mean? And it's these two gay guys and that one chick or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we in the tent. You know what I mean? I'm getting high and stuff like that. Um, I know that one of the dudes be trying to flirt, but he's already with the other dude or whatnot. You know what I mean? I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm not applying no pressure. I'm not none of that. I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Enjoying the little weekend that I have before I have to do that tip agency job again. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? It's other people. They starting to invite other people from the tent. Other people coming. This white girl was just. It just was weird situations. White girl came. She was kind of chubby a little bit or whatnot, and she was just excited to talk about how somebody in the woods raped her or something like that. She just mentioned about getting raped, and she was just like, you know what I mean? Not like, oh, I just wish somebody would rape me, but she was just like, it wasn't sounding like she was in dread that she said somebody was, took advantage of her. But she just really wanted to mention that to me, you know what I mean, for some reason. So we all just chilling and kicking it or whatnot. You know what I mean? So I didn't really pay attention, but one of the gay dudes, they would burn like this sage called dragon blood. It'll go around my, you know what I'm saying? But at the time, I wasn't really knowledgeable about witchcraft. I was just into new age consciousness. I was into that new age conscious stuff. So I didn't understand how it intertwined with witchcraft. I didn't understand that. I was just on my, enlightenment path, you know what I mean, pro black Buddhism type, you know what I mean? Like that type, conscious, pro black, where people say, oh, we're gods, and melanated people are special beings, and the sage cleanse you from negative energy, and copper, and it intensifies your intent crystals and things like that. Amplifies your energy, helps your mood, can manifest positive things. So I was taking this stuff in. This is new, knowledge and stuff like that. So I wasn't intertwined with witchcraft. So when I seen the gay dude with the dragon blood sage going around my tent, I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he on that conscious tip. Okay, okay. You know what I mean? He trying to cleanse things from, you know, negative spirits and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I go to the gas station, give me a beer, give me something, to eat, and come back. Cause I was really I was the one. That's why they was cool with me, cause I was working. I had money. They homeless too, but I'm the one with the money. So they like, oh, they trying to get some more dope and stuff. So they all rocking it out with me. They see, oh, he got a little money, so that's why everybody crowding around and stuff like that. Which I was like, cool. I was having money, but I didn't have like no place to stay, and like, what I'm saying, this is just one of those weekends where I'm like, you know what, fuck it. So I'm just kicking it. So they burning the sage or whatever. I didn't know, you know it was more items starting to go into the tent. And one of the gay dude, I guess from New York, he had this item, and it looked like a gypsy box. That's the item, looked like some type of gypsy box. You know what I'm saying? And after everything happened, that's when I started thinking like the movie Possession. When that person on the movie Possession opened up that box and the demon came out. Now that's what it reminded me of. I didn't know. I just thought, okay, that's just a little special box where he got whatever he got in there. He had that in there. Boom. So there all of a sudden there's these two white dudes, like redneck type dudes, but they acted cool. They had, you know what I mean? We had four locals and stuff like that, and they were just acting cool, like, yeah, man, we gonna set up your tent. We got this pallet right here, two pallets. We gonna have your tent sitting up real nice, man. Like, so they all cooperating and help me set up my tent so perfectly. I'm high geek, so I'm just not really taking things in. It's not clicking for me. I'm like, hey, but this place sweet. That buddy, people cool. You know what I'm saying? It's smooth. You know, I go to work, man. Next week I'm gonna start coming here every weekend and just kicking in parlay. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that night, I guess they thought I was asleep because I was just high, and I was like, man, I just gotta lay down. So they outside of the tent with chairs, and they sitting and they talking like I'm not there. You know what I mean? And the way they were talking, like telling old girl, like, yeah, you should go in there and give him some head or something like that. Or yeah, I'm gonna go in there and give him some head or something like that. That's how it sound. Like, yeah, boom. So I'm laying in the tent. She come in the tent, but she lay down. You know, they got their side of the tent. That's how big my tent is. They got their side where they all three be on one side and I be on the other side. So she lay down on the tent. You know, I'm sitting there playing like I'm sleeping and just trying to see like what's about to happen. Uh then he walk on in, you know what I'm saying? And he started rubbing the side of her head, like massaging her temples. And when I looked at it, it almost kind of freaked me out in a way. It's almost like I seen a glow. I don't know, I can't explain it. It's almost like something supernatural is about to take effect. So I just kind of like, oh, what y'all got going on? Like, hey, like, oh, like playing it off. So he scurry on out. You know what I mean? He scurry on out the tent like he Lord Baltimore or something like that. He scurry on out the tent. I thought that was creepy, but I didn't really think too much about it. Like, I'm like, all right, y'all, y'all tripping. Yeah, y'all tripping. So she don't say nothing. She put her head down, sleep. You know what I'm saying? And me thinking now in the future, like, she looked like she has some manly features. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? It was old girl, like, with, I don't know. Was she a dude? I don't know. Like, I don't know. So, all right. So, boom. So after he scurry on out the tent like Lord Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? Like the tent, I can't, like how the tent is, I could see an outline of things outside, but I like, unless I zip the parts of the tent, I can't see like clearly. But it's like, like a tent. You can see the outline. So the next thing, when dude scurried out the tent, the next thing I heard was some hoofs. Like some hooves. And the outline, I promise you, you know what I'm saying? This thing looked like one of those minotaurs, or not minotaurs, but like uh half man, half goat thing going on. Like, I seen the horns, I heard the hooves, and I seen the body, and it was a goat standing up, but it was like human, half human. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh hell no. So once I zip, it scurries on in the woods. It scurries in the wood. Whatever this thing is, it scurried in the woods. I'm like, oh hell no. I left the tent. I left them and everything. And I ran. I ran to the Wawas. I went to the Wawas. So I'm tripping. I'm like, yo, I'm tripping. I get water in my face, like, oh, I need to sober down. I must be high in my mind or something. I need to sober on down. I'm tripping. With water on my eyes and stuff like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and walk on back in that. I'm gonna go ahead and walk on back in the woods, and my tent. Make sure my tent right. You know what I'm saying? That's my tent. You know what I mean? I had to muster up courage because I was scared. I had to muster up courage. So instead of walking the actual back way that I walked through the front way of the tent city of the woods. So when I walk in the front way of the tent city in the woods, you know what I mean? It was like the light, like the people I could see in the tents. It almost reminded me of Salem, like the village Salem, like the place where the witches be and stuff like that. It started that the scenery started getting dark like that, and they were just looking at me like uh like, oh, you know, don't look at them like, oh, like people would just, you know what I mean, like what's about to happen, like, you know what I'm saying. I'm just like, all right. I just felt a chill, but I'm like, all right, man, come on, you got this. You can walk to your tent, you got this. You know what I'm saying? So I just get this eerie feeling like, man, I hope this damn goat thing don't just pop up on me and snatch me up. But none of that happened. So I just walked back to my tent in the back. And you know what I'm saying? They still in there. Old girl, I guess, was still in the tent. But the buddy that scurried out, I don't. Oh, I see him again. Yeah, okay. I see him again. So he's standing out in the tent in his regular form, I guess. You know, in his regular form. Um, so it's a piece of paper, and he's lighting up the piece of paper on the ground. And this is what he say: "It has begun." That's what he say. It has begun. I said, "Oh hell no!" Nah. So when he said that, something just told me, "Run, go." You know what I'm saying? So I go. I said, "Fuck the tent." You know what I mean? I go right back to Wawa's, and I start hearing the shrieking of this beast. It sounds like it's getting bigger. You know what I mean? It sounded like it was getting bigger. I kept like, oh, I gotta go get my tent. I gotta go get my tent. You know what I mean? And this thing just was shrieking, like it had a weird noise, like it was growing and was getting bigger. It was like I was being a part of some type of ritual. Next thing I noticed, like certain piles in the tent was being lit on fire, like some type of ritual going on. You know, I know the police were driving by in the street, but they were just like nothing was happening. You know, like this is some normal stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, this is crazy. But I'm like, I gotta go back in there and get my tent. But I was too scared to go all the way in there. So I walked back in the front area. I mustered up some courage to walk back in the front area of the woods. And I just see these lights in the background. It looked like cell phone lights. You know what I'm saying? It looked like cell phone lights. And then they would turn with the cell phone. So I don't know if people had their cell phone and how you would turn on the lights on your cell phone. And I just kept seeing that, like these little orbs of light. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh man, hell no. You know what I mean? And I remember seeing these people. I don't know if they was man, it's hard to explain it. I don't know if these people were I don't know how to explain it, but these people, they didn't look like um they were homeless. They were smiling. They looked like middle class type, uppity type people. You know what I mean? And they had this like little dog that I can't, I don't know if this, it wasn't a pit. It was like a Labrador or something. And they was petting this dog like, hey, petting the dog like, and the dog was really happy and stuff. And I don't know what, it was weird ritual. Like, I don't know if they were saying that was me, but it was like something was trying to pull me in. You know what I mean? Um, and the walkway of the front part of the woods, like, they had it kind of lit on fire. And I heard this, it had like mind you, the people in there was mainly white. I didn't think I remember seeing anybody. It was a black dude in there, you know what I'm saying? But the accent that I heard when I walked it was like D. You know what I'm saying? Like some type of islander accent. I don't know if they thought that was going to entice me or pull me in and be like, yeah, look, I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm here. What? Like I already knew some demonic stuff going on from the dude shape shifting or whatever to this damn goat man. You know what I'm saying? So hell no. I'm like, this is like some type of initiation. You know what I mean? Like this is really like this is some real live initiation. So I just turn around like, nah, I can't do this, man. You know, if they take my, you know what I mean? I just cowered out like, man, bump that. Like I can't, hell nah. This is blowing my damn mind. I ain't never experienced nothing like this in my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know how to. I'm just me. I don't know how to. Like I ain't even know how to come across that. So I just, luckily in the front of Wawa's they had tables and chairs, and then out of nowhere, I guess certain people probably thought that I went through with the initiation. I don't know, but it was cars pulling up at the gas station, and it was fine women coming out. I'm, fine, like look like porn stars coming out, and they were just kind of confused. Like I don't know, they was kind of confused, and they just, playing their role and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But at the time, I wasn't really thinking about, oh man, look at that. My whole time, I got to control my breathing. Like you know what I mean? I'm high and stuff like that, and this stuff is happening. So it's like I can't really explain what the hell going on. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of wait a couple more hours till it get morning time. Like I'm just gonna get my tent and get the hell on. So some of the dudes, I guess that's in the woods or whatnot, they come out and stuff like that, and they all just like, he, in there is every they're like everybody being iffy. You know what I'm saying? So next thing I know, the dude that I was smoking with, he come out the wood. The dude that I believe that shapeshifted to that goat, the one that was like has begun. He come out the woods like everything all smooth. You know what I'm saying? He ain't smiling at me or nothing. He come out the woods, everything smooth, and they like, oh, there he go. That's how it's like they was scared of him. You know what I mean? They like, oh, there he go. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that was weird. And then he walked back in the woods. And then that's when I heard that shrieking. And that's when I heard them say, oh, that's just Buck. Oh, that's just Buck. So they got a name for this little goat thing or whatever. They call it Buck. You know what I'm saying? So the whole time it was shrieking and stuff like that, I just refused to go in the woods. I waited till the sun came out. You know what I mean? I waited till that sun came up, you know. And then I got, before I got my tent, there was a dude that sat down and told me like, yeah, once you leave, don't never come back. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like he tried to hit me with some Lion King type. He tried to hit me with some Lion King type stuff like what Scar said to Simba type action. Like, once you leave, don't come back. Like hell no, I ain't gonna come back. Hell no. I don't know what initiation or what this. I didn't sign up for this. This ain't what I signed up for. You know what I'm saying? It was just I was being high, and some people taking my kindness for weakness, I guess. But thank God none of my stuff went missing or nothing like that. I still had my tent and things like that. So in the morning they were just sitting like everything was normal. So I walked through the wood. Well, before I went to my tent, I was walking through the front way of the woods in the morning time, and it just smelled like death. Like the piles of woods, everything burnt. You could still see smoke. You know what I'm saying? And I see these flies. These weren't like normal flies. These was like some big flies. Like it just felt like I just walked into Hogwarts or something. It was real spooky. And I remember seeing this black cat, but this black cat was like the size of like it wasn't a panther, but it was like a real big domesticated cat. There wasn't no regular size domesticated cat. It was like one of them black witch cats. I don't know. Everything just, my aura just felt like I was just in some type of Salem witchcraft. Like it just was very witchy, bewitched. It was very witchy. You know what I mean? My tent didn't smell all good. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to, you know what I mean? I'm about to go. You know what I'm saying? They were all like kind of cranky and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm about to take my tent and go. You know what I'm saying? So I get my tent and stuff like that. They get their stuff out of the tent. But I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come back. Stuff like that. I don't know, like, shoot, buddy could have shape shifted and that could have been it. So I'm like, yeah, shoot, I'm gonna come back. We gonna kick it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We gonna kick it. I just gotta grab my tent real quick and what I'm saying. I gotta handle business and things like that. Just trying to skedaddle up out of there. So I, put my tent on up and stuff like that, and what I'm saying. They just kind of sitting there, and I could tell that they didn't really like, what I mean, that I was leaving. But it's like I could see, like, I don't know how it goes, but it's like they can only do certain things. You know what I'm saying? They can only do certain things because you feel me. If they wanted to just snatch me up that night or this, you know what I mean? Boom. You know what I'm saying? I would have to defend myself. You know what I mean? But I'm glad none of that happened. You know what I mean? I skated up out that thing, but yeah, that was one of the wildest experiences I think I had. I tried to articulate this thing the best way I can, or you know what I'm saying. That was one of the wildest experiences, and after that, I just been having some kind of like feeling like it's just demons around. I remember after I left from Orlando, I went kind of south to not too far from West Palm Beach. I can't remember, but it's like a nice tropical place. And then at night times, I would still hear some shrieking. I remember like I went to the beach at nighttime, and I was just sitting there and listening to the oceans. I was in because I'm still being gang stalked, right? So I went to the beach at nighttime. And I'm like, oh, this is where I can get relaxed with the waves. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm at the beach at nighttime. I hear people at the beach, they playing, they being funny. Like these, like they being funny out there. You know what I'm saying? They having their fun, enjoying. I'm cool and I'm just looking at the stars, listening to the ocean waves. And there's these two dudes that pop up, different dudes. They walk down and one of them was like, watch this, and they just looked at the like tall grass at the bridge before the sand of the beach. There's like grass and there's a bridge that leads towards like the city. And they look towards this, it's like on the bridge, they look toward this tall grass. And next thing I heard was that same shrieking noise. So when I heard that same shrieking noise, it triggered me. So I got up and I left about the beach, and I look at this building and it was flashing red, and it had like, I would start getting sensitized to fire after that point. That's all I was getting sensitized to. A lot of people just kept lighting stuff on fire, and I just kept hearing weird noises, and it just kept freaking me out. And I was sobering myself down at the time, and it was still happening. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, I just got the hell up out of Florida. I was like, oh, this a little too much for me. I just got the hell up out of Florida, you know, um, and linked up with another TI, you know what I'm saying, in Detroit. But yeah, that situation just really showed me like the crystals, the sage, you know what I mean? People don't know what they be getting into, but a lot of that stuff really be witchcraft. You get what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff really be it really be witchcraft. You feel me? And I feel like I was like, just like with that V2K experience I had on the playlist, like them folks was trying to recruit me, but on this synthetic angelic side, that happened in Orlando too. But me being in Kissimmee, Florida, which is south of Orlando, you know what I mean? It's almost like they tried to drag me to hell or initiate me. I don't know what was, I don't know if it was going to be some freaky orgy going on. I don't know what the hell the goat was going. You know what I mean? I don't know what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Was this a sell my soul moment? I don't know. Oh yeah, and I remember dude at Wawa. He told me it's a good thing you did what you did because you wouldn't have lived that long. The same dude that hit me with the, you know what I mean, leave far away from here, like hit me with the little Lion King, you know what I'm saying? Like he Scar from Lion King. He told me like, shoot, I wouldn't have lived long. I wouldn't have lived long. So if like I would have made this agreement with this thing or whatever in the woods or however these people do it, you know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know. I don't know if that was some Masonic occultic initiation and they just unraveled it to me. Like I was just like, this is something they know that I was familiar to. Like it was like they know that I was just familiar to this type. Like they just knew that I was just gonna rock with this. But my soul, it wouldn't let me rock with it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they may project fear or I ran or stuff like that. Heck yeah, man, I don't want no parts of that. My soul didn't sit right with that at all. I don't care how I don't like. No, I don't want no parts of none of that. Nothing, Nathaniel. You hear me? Only thing was I was on the drug, so got up out of there, man. And that's just my testimony. This witchcraft, demons are real. I seen one with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Well, the outline of a demon. You know what I mean? Some people say maybe it was just Project Blue Beam. That was too realistic for me. That was way too realistic for me. You know what I'm saying? If they doing Project Blue Beam, these folks going all the way out. They showing out. But that was just technology. They really showing out. I believe in I ain't never experienced nothing like that. I believe in my heart that was witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? They scared me out of the conscious community. You know what I'm saying? Made me rethink my whole, thought process because I always been a spiritual person. But me going through this gang stalking and me getting high, you know what I mean? I just kind of got out of the Christian faith a little bit and start getting into the new age and consciousness and stuff like that. And, you know what I mean, that pro-black movement and all that. But after that experience, it scared me out of the conscious community. I went out of the conscious community. You know what I mean? I went out of that. You know what I'm saying? And start slowly getting back into my Christian faith. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I see the demons and the devil real, then you know God is real. That's facts. You know it. It is, and I don't have to go through that experience, but it's just a reminder, like, you know what I'm saying? Either you gonna be with God or you gonna be with this. And I'm like, nah, I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts of what they call buck. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. That's what they call this thing, buck. If you know, let me say it again, you know. So that was my experience. I hope I was able to articulate it the best way I can. You know what I'm saying? I know my wife get tired of me, saying this story. I told her this story so many times on certain people, but it always took me a while to explain this story because I'm like, damn, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to articulate it right. Hopefully I was able to articulate it the best way I can. But yeah, man, witchcraft was real. That V2K was real, but the V2K stopped for me because I got off. I guess when I wasn't getting high, I guess I wasn't getting the V2K. I might get like little muffles every now and then, but it was clear when I was high. And I've been high before functioning and I don't hallucinate or none of that stuff. I don't have hallucinations. I don't have no hallucinations or nothing like that. It's just a feel for me. You know what I'm saying? And a whole bunch of energy. I just have a whole bunch of energy in the field. Ain't no hallucination going on. Ain't no none of that going on. You know what I'm saying? I just recently, not too long ago, relapsed on drugs. I ain't have no hallucinations. There was things happening around me. You know what I'm saying? When I got back on drugs, the motel room was burning and stuff like that. I wasn't hallucinating. The motel was burning. You know what I'm saying? Things around me was happening. So I know once I get on these drugs and stuff like that, it opens portals and it gives these demons permission to go full force and effect. Cause when I'm off of it, they ain't applying no pressure like that. When I was down there in Florida, they was applying pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, you gonna get down? And I remember seeing people that next morning, they had shirts that said hell or something like that, like flaming hot Cheetos or like hell. I guess they thought that I went through with it. And then I guess later on they found out I didn't go through with it. You know what I'm saying? So it just always been a chase. Like I was in the program, but it's just like been a real chase after that because I just been noticing a lot of dark people, especially in Florida, just around me. Like these look like people that the devil's reject. These people came from hell. Like, you know what I mean? This white lady, she had a dark ring around her eye. She just looked dark. And the boy, I don't know, the teenage boy, he just looked dark too. You know what I'm saying? Like on the bus, you know, when I got off the bus, they got off and they just kind of scurried on off somewhere. It was just even the daytime, it was just spooky as hell. Like I remember I was at I think that was West Palm Beach by the Martin Luther King Center. I was sitting on a bench and I woke up in the morning and I was hearing like something in the trees or something. And it sounded animated. It sounded very animated. It didn't sound like something like, you know what I mean, natural was in the trees. It sounded something like unnatural in the trees. And I just seen some bird feathers fly from, so I got the hell up like, oh, what the hell? Like a crunch. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm tripping. And at that time, you know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't think I was on no drugs that night. And in the morning time, there was this lady walked up and handed me an orange. She looked like a witch. It was like some Snow White type activity. She handed me the orange. I didn't eat the orange. I just left. So eventually I got up out of Florida, man. But yeah, that it was a lot of witchcraft going on. But I say I probably signed up for it with the drugs, like I said, open up portals. Because when I first went to Florida, none of that stuff was going on. Everything was cool. Everything was smooth. You know what I'm saying? But but when I went to Florida, I was on the drugs, but none of that was happening. You know what I'm saying? I was on drugs when I first went to Florida, and but when I came back from New Mexico, New Orleans, and went back to Florida, it was on and popping. Them folks like, oh, you back? Oh, you finna really see the real side of Florida. You finna really see this esoteric occult. You finna see what this is really about. You know what I'm saying? And for those who know, I just wanted to shed that light on y'all family. You know what I mean? I was like, man, it should be time that I go ahead and give y'all that story. Cause I've been supposed to give y'all that story a long time ago. But yeah, family, man, this world really is demonic. It's real live demons out here, man. So, you know, God is real, man. So, you know, stay away from that conscious crap, man. You know what I mean? That them crystals, that's witchcraft, man. The sage and stuff like that, that's witchcraft. Drugs, that's witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? And when you agree to take these things in, you can open up portals. And I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, family, y'all hold y'all head. Y'all get that bread. And remember, red is just red. Peace.